Welcome to the Marshall Way Kung Fu Training Center virtual online class series, where today we'll be focusing on movement drills. There are actually 18 movement drills in all. Today we're going to be focusing on numbers 1 through number 6. The stances that you're going to need to know for movement drills numbers 1 through 6 are going to be your bow stance, your crane stance, your horse stance, and your cat stance. So just to review with those really fast, your bow stance, where you have your front knee bent, back leg straight, keeping energy and sitting in your pot. Same thing on this side. Front knee bent, back leg straight. Your crane stance. Remember, you're starting to tuck that foot in. Get your knee up above the sash line. Your horse stance. And your cat stance. Just the toe, sit on the imaginary seat. Okay? The concepts that you're going to need for your movement drills are going to be what we refer to as weaving of the guard. So we're going to start out with that one. That's going to be the most important one that we're going to need for numbers 1, numbers 2, and numbers 5. So what is a weave of the guard? A weave of the guard is just moving your right guard to your left guard. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of neutralize our stance, so there's no lead leg. So just neutralize your stance. Get one hand that's going to be extended further, and one hand that's going to be right over here. So this is your standard open hand guard, where these fingertips will have to talk to the elbow. That's what they're going to do. They're going to talk to the elbow. Now, this hand has got to get to the lead hand. So what it's going to do is it's going to turn to face towards you, lifts up, and as this one lifts up, this one goes down. It's like an elevator. And then it pops out. Same thing here. Turn, has it face towards you. This one comes up, this one goes down, and out. Notice how it goes towards the opposite shoulder and out. Turn, opposite shoulder, out. Turn, opposite shoulder, out. Turn, opposite shoulder, and then out, then push it straight out. Same thing from the profile view. Turn, opposite shoulder, out. Turn, opposite shoulder, out. And you don't need to touch yourself. I'm just kind of doing that so that you understand how to actually, where the hand's actually facing. Turn, opposite shoulder, out. Turn, opposite shoulder out, turn, opposite shoulder out. And that's what we refer to as weaving of the guard. You're going to need that for movement drills number 1, number 2, and number 5. Another concept is going to be what we refer to as lateral stepping or diagonal stepping. It's very simple to walk straight ahead. However, diagonal stepping or lateral stepping means that we're going to be stepping this way. Now stepping that way. We're still moving towards our opponent, but we're using a diagonal motion. So I'll demonstrate for you right here. So from right over here, and you can practice this with me. Diagonal step, face, diagonal step, face, diagonal step, face. So we're still walking straight ahead, but we're walking straight ahead in a diagonal motion. Okay, we'll do that one more time. And once again, you guys can do this with me. Face, diagonal step, turn, face, diagonal step, turn, face, diagonal step, turn, face, diagonal step, turn, and face. All of our movement drills are going to be working on what we refer to as gap closures. Now, what is a gap close? A gap close is simply how to get to your opponent. So there's different crafty ways of getting to your opponent, especially now some of these are going to be a little bit more specific to a fighting drill, and some of them are just going to be just standard gap closures, how to move forward. So gap closures are how you're going to get to your opponent and how you're going to get your energy to that opponent. And the last concept that we're going to be focusing on is what we refer to as a spring step. Now, a spring step is a different type of gap closure, and I'll hit that when we get to movement drill number 6. So get ready, and we're going to start with movement drill number 1. Movement drill number 1 starts in a bow stance with your standard guard. So if your left leg is forward, your left hand is going to be the high hand. What you're going to do is just standard step, weave the guard. Lock the guard at the same time you lock the stance. Standard step, lock the guard. Standard step, lock the guard. I'm just going to turn around. If you have more space, then use more reps. Remember how to weave that guard. 2 and 3. Let's do that one more time. Movement drill number 1, very simple. Bow stance, advance. Set. Ready. Hana. Hop. Do. Hop. Sit. Hop. one of the most important things you want to remember behind movement drill number 1 is not to have this rising motion. It's going to be very simple to want to stand up out of your stance. Stances are uncomfortable, and what's the whole purpose of stances in Kung Fu is to strengthen those legs, really make your legs nice and strong. So if you want to understand how to do the movement drill properly, stay low in your stance. So you're going to notice I'm going to do it without the hands. This is what we don't want to see. Standing up and then coming back down. Standing up and then coming back down. So you can see my body is doing this. Notice now when I do this movement drill without the hands, once again, staying in my stance, this knee will stay bent. It's almost as if you're creeping. It's almost as if you're creeping, all right? Step right there. So movement drill number 1, ready, hana, hui, sim, do, hui, sim, hui, sim. Set, movement drill number 1, hana, hui, sim, do, hui, sim, hui, sim. Most important things to remember about your movement drill number 1 is the proper weave of your guard and the locking of your stance. Now let's get ready to go to movement drill number 2. Movement drill number 2 uses the diagonal step with your standard guard. Step, hands stay stationary, weave the guard, thump. Step, diagonal step, weave the guard, thump. You want to make sure that your guard locks at the very same time as your knee locks. So let's do that again. Remember the diagonal step that we were just doing. Same motion. Movement drill number 2. Set. Ready. Hana. Hop. Sip. Do. Fa. Sip. Set. Fa. Sip. Net. Fa. Sip. Always look over your guard. Now another important thing is you don't want your guard to stray from your knee. And this is the most common mistake, where you see your knee is in one direction and my hand's in the other direction. You want your guard to be centralized over your knee. So make sure that there's minimal space in between your knee and your elbow. Let's do that again. Sim, hana, fling, sim, do, fling, sim, fling, sim, nem, fling, sim. Practice movement drill number 1 and practice the movement drill number 2, and then we'll come back. Movement drill number 3. Movement drill number 3 uses what we refer to as a galloping motion. And all we're really going to be doing is we want to get as much height off of our legs as possible from a horse stance. So we want to start in a horse stance and we want to end in a horse stance. So the first things first, you want to get into your horse stance. And I'm not going to use my hands at this time. And you want both knees to get up above the sash line and come back down. So you're going to jump 1, jump 2, and then down. Flop, sit, flop, sit, hop, flop, sit, flop, sit, flop, sit. Control the lead leg. So you don't want the front leg to. And the more sound you make, the more your body is out of control. So let's do movement drill number 3. Horse stance and gallop. Sit, hana, free sit, do, free sit, sit, free sit, hey, hana, free sit, do, free sit, free sit. Now as we go to movement drill number 4, there's going to be 2 ways of practicing movement drill number 4, and I'm going to show you the basic way first, because it's going to be the most important thing to do to set the foundation for movement drill number 4. Once again, start in your horse stance the same way that you did with number 3. The first motion, this leg, you're going to be going in that direction, so your back leg is going to cross behind. Strong cross behind. Notice how I didn't change my chest, so don't turn your body this way. And now this knee is going to lift, circle, and around. Once again, back, circle, and down. Let's do the other side now. Same thing. Cross behind. It's almost as if you're crossing behind. Still try to keep your energy in that direction. Knee comes up and down. Circle behind. Knee, circle. So you see the way my legs just kind of rainbows. This is what we don't want to do. When I cross behind and I just lift my knee straight up like that, you don't see the leg looping. Very important. So let's do this motion. Set. Hana. Cross. Do, cross, from, sit, hana, from, cross, from, do, step, from. Now let's do the movement drill number 4, full speed and power. Both motions have to be done in a jump. So watch me first. So let's get ready to start. Movement drill number 4. Hana, free softs, do, free softs, say, hana, free soft, do, free soft. As we continue to do our movement drills, it's very important to understand and emphasize the word drill. What does the word drill mean? The word drill means that you're going to do it over and over and over again in order to either optimize or maintain your skill set. So drills are not something that we just learn. You're going to learn them and then you continue to do them hundreds of times, thousands of times to maintain or optimize your skill set. Very, very important. Drills are different than techniques. Techniques are actual applications that are in your Kung Fu. And those are things that you have to learn in order to actually do combat. Those are going to be different. So we're not working on techniques right now, we're working on the drills. And the drills are to make your body strong. So remember, it's not good enough just to learn the drills. So when you've learned movement drill numbers 1 through 6, you should be doing movement drill numbers 1 through 6 every day to make sure that you're optimizing or maintaining your skill set. Let's move to movement drill number 5. Movement drill number 5 follows the same pattern that movement drill number 2 did, where that diagonal motion. Instead of a crane stance, it's now going to use a cat stance, and the same weaving of the guard. So set, hana, step, slide, and out. So I'll do that again. So that may be a little confusing. What you want to do is you're going to be in the cat stance, take a good elongated step. A good elongated step does not need to be a bow stance, but a good elongated step. And now you're going to bring your foot in the same pattern and then circle around. So you notice how it kind of does this little C motion. Same thing here. Take a good elongated step, turn and circle. All right, so now when we bring that with our guard, now we have movement drill number 5. Sit, hana, strong step, circle, guard, do, sit, knit. Let's do that again. Stand set. Ready, hana, do, sit, practice movement drill number 5. Movement drill number 6 has 2 different components. It has the concept of that spring step that we spoke about earlier that I'm going to get to in one moment, and we have a small little version of the gallop. All right, so what we want to do is we're just going to do a little small gallop. So what we're going to do is you're going to move this leg first. We're going to go in that direction, move your back leg first. 1, 2. That's all. 1, 2. 1, 2. And notice I'm kind of pounding into the ground. 1, 2. 1, 2. Your knees do not have to come up high like movement drill number 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Set, other side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now this is a movement drill that you can definitely use if you're engaging an opponent or if you're in a sparring type of scenario. It's a creative way of getting towards your opponent as you're kind of standing around, and you can do this motion right there. And now what we want to do is we want to place the spring step into it. Now the spring step is how you're going to spark or flash towards your opponent. And this is going to be the faster motion. So you have a slower motion, which is the gallop, and then the spring. So you're going to come 1, 2, now 1, push. So I'll do that again. 1, 2, 1, push, and then slide. 1, 2, 1, 2. So you see the second step is really the explosive step. So gallop with an explosive step, and that's what we refer to as our spring step. So we'll do it slower once again. And I'm not really using a high stance or a very low stance. You can just kind of be comfortable in this stance. So this one is not going to be any one of the main stances. I want you to be comfortable. Set. Ready. Hana. 1, 2, boom. Do. 1, 2. Other side. Ready. Hana. 1, 2. Do. 1, 2. So think about this. If you were to place application on this motion, 1, 2, and you can advance your opponent and then launch that strike. So let's do it at full speed and power. Stand set. Ready. Hana. Plus. Do. Plus. Stand step on the side. Ready. Hana. Place. Do. Place. Now let's do all of our movement drills, numbers 1 through 6. Notice how some of the movement drills had a left and a right side, such as numbers 3 and number 4 and number 6. All of the other ones are just going to alternate from the right side to the left side. I'm going to be using a pattern of from here going over there. However, for number 2 and number 5, I will be facing towards you because it's just a better angle. Movement drill number 1. Hana. Do. Set. Movement drill number 2. 하나, 휙, 팝. 도, 휙, 팝. 셋, 휙, 팝. Movement drill number 3. 하나, 휙, 팝. 도, 휙, 팝. 셋. 하나, 휙, 팝. 도, 휙, 팝. Movement drill number 4. 하나, 팝, 셋. 도, 팝, 셋. 하나, 팝, 셋. 도, 팝, 셋. Movement drill number 5. 하나, 휙. 도, 휙. 셋, 휙. Movement drill number 6. 하나, cross. 도, cross. Other side. 하나, cross. 도, cross. All right, guys, now let's see if you guys can do movement drill numbers 1 through 6 without my assistance. Make sure that you have an adequate amount of space so that you can do at least 4 reps for movement drill number 1, movement drill number 2, and movement drill number 5. And for movement drill numbers 6, and number 3, and number 4, you want to make certain that you have maybe just the same amount of space, but okay, come back. All right, guys, and let's see if you guys can actually do the movement drills without my assistance. Find your space. We're going to start with movement drill number 1. 4 repetitions. Set. Ready. 하나. 둘. 셋. 넷. Movement drill number 2. 4 repetitions. Ready. 하나. 둘. 셋. 넷. Movement drill number 3. 2 repetitions going in one direction, 2 repetitions going in the other. Set. 하나. 둘. Other direction. 하나. 둘. Movement drill number 4. 2 times in one side, 2 times on the other. Set. 하나. 둘. Other side. 하나. 둘. Movement drill number 5. 4 repetitions. Set. Ready. 하나. 둘. 셋. 넷. Movement drill number 6. 2 repetitions. In one direction, 2 repetitions in the other. Ready. 하나. 둘. Other direction, stand set. 하나. 둘. Continue to practice that, and then we'll work on more movement drills on another video.